for today is one that a lot of people are familiar with. How to motivate workers in tough times. And there are going to be two of these. Now, I'd like to first pay homage to Anne Bradford and Richard Ryan, who published a great article in Harvard Business Review, and Bob Clark, who also did a great article in Forbes, because they're some of the people who helped me understand that there are practical ways of describing things that many of us do, but may not always realize how we're doing it. Okay. And what we're going to be covering are three specific ways that you can amp up a little bit of the engagement level by motivating employees in times that are tough. This is not something new. We have all been through times that are tough. The global nature of this one has been particularly rough. Here in the United States, we've had our share of, shall we call them, enlightening moments that have allowed us to see that we are as vulnerable as anybody. And recovery is part of the tough times. So I want you to think about this. We never have enough. Not enough time, not enough budget, not enough of the availability of the people who we count on to make this project execute beautifully. So it's tough enough to get things going given all the demands on our team members when things are going well. But when things aren't, it's even tougher. Immediately after 9/11, I had to reconvene with the team. So I drove 5.5 hours. We got into a room and we sat down and talked about it. Because step one is to demonstrate genuine recognition and appreciation, not just for what they have done on the project, but also demonstration of recognition, of appreciation for how they are coming through these times and still having a focus on what is needed by the project, by the client, by the sponsor. Absolutely, there are going to be different degrees of that recovery going on at all times. But you see, everybody recovers from tough times in their own manner, at their own pace. So letting them know that you see that you appreciate the effort they're putting in to get through that recovery process is an important step. Step number two speaks to just that. Be visible, be approachable. Every teammate I've ever had on any team has my cell number. Back in the day, they had my pager number, but things change. And that's one of the reasons why I was so grateful for number portability, because I could take my phone number with me, regardless of what service I was using, regardless of where in the country I was located, I could take my phone number with me. That was really important because when you build your teams well, there is something wonderful that happens. You also now have professionals who count on you not just to answer a few questions, but who count on you to be the kind of leader that is available, that they can bounce those questions off of. So I've had the same phone number since 1993. Kind of scary when you start thinking about those numbers, isn't it? Imagine how it feels for me. Now, as a consultant, I don't always have access to the best information around step number three. But for those of you who are in-house project managers for an organization, this might be a little easier for you to do. And that is to remember that individual, that team member, they're a whole human being. And that means that there are going to be times when they are powering through something on a personal level or in a community level that might be a little tough to power through. So, for those of you particularly who are in house, make sure that they know what kinds of resources they have available. Who is their EAP contact? Employee Assistance Program. Most companies have one. And if you don't know what yours is, now's a good time to get better acquainted with your colleagues in human resources. You see, part of being able to demonstrate genuine recognition means that you have to know them just a little bit below the surface of our professional relationship. And in order to do that, you have to have built that relationship. And your team members will value and commit to your caring about their well being in a way that will also help them to heal and increase the level of trust in the care that you take to be the kind of leader that they are willing to, will offer to follow. We're going to be doing a second video on this very same topic, but with some new hints and techniques. As a project manager, we frequently find ourselves working hard to be leaders of people that we have to enroll. They have to be willing to follow us. Oliver Lehman in the Project Business Foundation speaks to it very eloquently when he talks about the how, the whys, and the wheres, the definitions of leadership. And one of the key points he makes is the one thing that every leader needs are followers. And in project management, we quite frequently have nothing else but our ability to enroll them as followers. Most of the time, we can't even affect their annual evaluation. Some of the time we can, but most of the time, these people work for someone else who writes their annual reviews, who decides how to rank them and rate them so that they get an appropriate boost or maybe not. So build a kind of leadership based on motivating and caring kind of leadership that enrolls people to join you. If you've been enjoying the fact that you get some very practical hints that you can work on immediately, please like or subscribe. We would love to see you on a regular basis. And by the way, if you have a topic that you would really like to have covered, it's probably on our list. But if you contact us, and my contact information is at the end of the video, we might be able to move it up a little bit in the shooting schedule. Leadership-driven project management is all about how relationships and expectations of the stakeholders in your team affect your project and your success. Our lessons are geared to things that are practical and applicable immediately. I'm Kimi Hirotsuzimski, and I'm delighted that you were able to join us. Thanks for being with us, and feel free to forward this to a friend if you think that they'll find it helpful as well. Thanks again for being with us.